Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Disney Dining Show. Today, well, you don't normally see me, but I will be your host alongside with my co-host here. I'm Craig Williams.
Yeah, it's like you're the eater and I'm the co-eater. Yeah. Ryno, clap.
Yeah, we never do this show, so
we don't know how they do the intro, I guess. Yeah,
exactly. I guess I've never really paid attention to it, but if you can't tell, for those who are watching this, if you're listening, you probably can't tell, but we are standing outside of the Regal Eagle Smokehouse at the American Adventure Pavilion here in the World Showcase at Epcot. Did I get all the SEO words in?
I think so.
Yeah, all the keywords? Okay, I got them all. And
barbecue, quick service, Disney parks.
Exactly. So today is the first day that this restaurant is open. Of course, the Muppets meets barbecue meets Epcot. Yeah. Something that I've been waiting for quite a while. So we're going to head inside, check it out. Look it all over, look at the menu, make some decisions, and then we'll catch up with you when we have some food. It was really tough making some selections on this menu because it's one of those rare moments where pretty much everything looked and sounded good. So the only thing we kind of agreed on that we were not going to do was the barbecue jackfruit burger. So sorry for the plant-based people out there. It's just...
I hate jackfruit.
Yeah, jackfruit, when we had it at Universal's barbecue place, it was not great. So I think it's nothing against this one. Shouldn't judge it without having it, but it does make me kind of nervous to eat it, considering I didn't really care for it the first time I had it. And yeah, the other ones we rolled out was the barbecue burger and the power green salad. But really, it's the meat. That's what's interesting. That's what you want to go with. And there's brisket, chicken, pork ribs, smoked pork butt, and smoked sausage. And so one of the ways we were able to knock out a good amount of them was by having the American platter for $18.99. With the American platter, the number 6 on the menu, you get the choice of 3 meats from the items above, which are the ones I just spoke about. So there you go. And then you get a piece of garlic toast and a choice of a side. Our sides are not what we got, just what's available. House-made pickles, garlic toast, creamy coleslaw, macaroni and cheese, seasoned French fries, beer-battered onion rings, and baked beans with burnt ends. So the one that's in front of me right now is baked beans with burnt ends. And we did agree on that one, as well as the other one. So if we decide that we dislike it, at least we both made that decision together on there. So the meats that we ultimately went with in the platter, it was pork ribs, brisket, because of course I am the aficionado of brisket, self-proclaimed aficionado of brisket, as well as the pork butt, which it's their take on pulled pork. And
I did not.
You can already tell the difference in quality between what Disney has done with barbecue in the past. It's this looks like actual smokehouse barbecue. It doesn't look like the brisket is nice thin cut brisket, and clearly it was smoked. And I talked to one of the managers here, and the brisket smoked for 14 hours on site with all the spices, everything with it. So brisket should hopefully be very delicious. And the pork butt, it's usually pork butt here at Disney's always like soaking in water, but in this circumstance, I mean, it's not at all. It's going to be soaking in sauce at some point, but that's a whole other battle that we have to get to. So I'm going to start with the brisket, since that's what I was most looking forward to. And it's tender. It looks more on the lean side of brisket than moist, and typically I prefer moist brisket, more fatty, but well, I am pleasantly surprised with the brisket. So it is, you go to Austin and you eat it like Franklin's Barbecue. It's people who've been making brisket for years and years and years. I'm sure they're still running the town when it comes to brisket, but in terms of this brisket here, I'm very surprised how much I enjoy it. Again, I would like it to be a little bit more fatty, a little bit more on the moist side rather than lean, but there's a delicate smokiness to it, not overbearing, pleasant amount of saltiness, but not that I'm reaching for my water right now. It's a nice, well-rounded piece of meat. So I'm gonna move on to the pork butt. Take a bite of that. Wow. Okay, there's a flavor there. I'm gonna help you need your help to identify it.
Is it cinnamon?
No, it's not cinnamon, but I'm already gonna say it now. I was not expecting this. I like the pork butt better than I like the brisket.
Oh, we almost didn't get that one.
And we almost didn't go for this one because of how basic it was. In eating this without any sauce at all,
it was like made in the sauce though. Because I can see sauce on it.
A little bit. They might have put a little bit of vinegar on it to give a little bit of moisture, but I'm not really even tasting that. But it's good. It's good pork butt. So it's better. It's better than braised pulled pork for sure. So now comes Ryno's favorite time. Meat on the bone. So I enjoy a good rib, but I typically like ribs that fall right off the bone, and sometimes, with smoked ribs, you never know how it's going to go. It could end up being very, very chewy and just kind of want to latch on there, but it cut easily enough, so. What'd I say, though? That's how I like it, and that's exactly what happened.
I like it like that.
Again, like the brisket.
It looks pretty meaty.
It's very meaty. Just a little bit of balance of fat in there, which of course you want. Very, very smoky. Just like the brisket. It is.
Okay, answer me this.
It is good.
Hoop-de-doo for these.
That's the problem with Hoop-de-doo, is I feel like they have to mass produce so many ribs there.
They're not always very meaty.
They're not very meaty. A lot of times they're over smoked, so they get very dried out. They try to layer them in sauce to make up for them, and it just doesn't work. This is one of the best ribs I've had on Disney property.
Oh.
So, not that I get ribs a lot, but I like it enough that I'm going to save a little bit for later. And last thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to try the baked beans because they're in front of me. So I love burnt ends. That's if I go to a barbecue place and they have burnt ends, that is typically something I order. So add that in with the baked beans. Could be promising. I don't know if I'm sold on these baked beans.
Oh.
So I like the burnt ends in there. It adds that nice meatiness to it, but something about the sauce in these baked beans It's instead of like heavy barbecue sauce baked beans, you know, it's kind of like a little bit. No, it's a little bit like mustardy in there, and a little bit of vinegar kick to it. So I'll have to see how I settle on them. I'm not a huge fan of them right now. I think we'll like our other side better, but I've been talking. I need to wipe my hands, Ryno. I'm gonna let you start digging into all this stuff too.
So the other food item that we got was the oh nope, that's not it. It was the Kansas City smoked half chicken for $13.99, which is sweet barbecue sauce. It came with garlic toast and a choice of side. And we went with the mac and cheese because a cast member on the way in said it was really good. And plus, I feel like mac and cheese is one of those types of foods that goes so well with barbecue. You got to get it right.
A BBBQ staple.
So, as we always say when we take the pictures and the videos and it sits for a little while, things get a little cooler or congeal, but even in the cooler temperature, this mac and cheese is pretty good. I like the breadcrumbs on it. It's definitely got...
Happy Joe.
I can't put my finger on what is the type of cheese I'm getting a really strong flavor of. Cheddar? I don't know. I'm not a cheese connoisseur.
Yeah, it did not say on the menu. It just said side macaroni and cheese, so we might be able to find out the answer.
It could be provolone. I'm gonna dig into this chicken. He's been sitting here crying in his barbecue sauce the whole time. Another meat on the bone item here, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
But it's healthy chicken.
I also don't know how to cut a chicken, so I don't want to hear it in the comment section.
Pretty sure you pick it up and just eat it.
Nope, I'm not touching it. This chicken though. Okay, so I was worried because, you know, sometimes you order chicken, theme park, whatever, it comes a little dried out, a little like cardboard boxy, I guess, or something. And this is really good. This is a really well cooked piece of chicken. It's flavorful. The meat is nice and tender. It's like, I would argue it's perfectly cooked, in fact, and it is so good. And I really like this barbecue sauce that's on top of it here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try some of your stuff now too, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna go with the pork butt, which I learned today was pulled pork. I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. I've never had pork butt before.
I mean, it's not necessarily always pulled pork, but it's a good type of pork in order to make pulled pork.
You are right. This is really, really good, and we have some sauces here to try, and this is one of those, I was like, oh no, we're definitely gonna need a sauce for this. This is one of those where I'm like, you don't really need a sauce for this. It's got a nice little, not like a spice, but you know, like when you have barbecue sauce, you get that little, I guess it is a spice, but it's not like a heat spice. It's like,
I know, it's hard to put your finger on it.
Yeah, I can't, I'm like, I don't know, and we did say it was made with a vinegar sauce, but because I was worried, I'm not a big vinegar fan. I don't really taste the vinegar at all in this. So, but this is really, really good pulled pork. I'm gonna try your brisket. I'm gonna try this brisket. Ooh, this is crumbly. This one I'm not a super fan. Like compared to the other things, it's not my favorite on the dish. I don't dislike it. It's very flaky. This one I would definitely. This one is going to be my sauce tester. I guess I'll try the rib now too.
Yeah, I think the brisket, having the brisket sauce with it might elevate it a little bit. It had a little bit on when it got delivered, but just on the top a little bit.
Oh. Caught a little bit of the bone in there.
Happens.
I see what you're saying though. The rib is a nice balance between that like fatty texture that you get, because sometimes it'll. Honestly, the only time I really have ribs is when I go to Hoop-de-Doo. I'll have like one of them, and it feels like that meat is so close to the bone there, and it's just kind of like, this is very, very flavorful. I'm going to use a word I hate to say, juicy. Very juicy. But there are a couple of sauces inside here that you can get, and I'm going to read from the list that Craig has just sent me here. There's a blue ribbon brisket sauce, which is savory spice sauce. There's a Sizzling Pit Dry Rub Coalition, which is their classic smokehouse sauce. There's the mustard Old Glory, the Old Glory Mustard Guild. That's a sweet mustard sauce. And then you have the Vinegar League, which is the vinegar-based sauce. I think I am gonna try. I'm gonna go with the savory spice sauce, which I believe is this one here. No, this one here. It's good. It's a little. It's like. I feel like I can taste vinegar in this one. Let me try the Coalition one. Ooh, this one looks good. Standard. It's a barbecue sauce, very kind of standard issue one. Let me cut off another little piece of this rib here. I'm gonna try the mustard. If you've been to Disney Springs ever and gone to the Polite Pig, they also have a bunch of sauces there. I'm a fan of their sauces. I don't know that these are quite on that same level. Sweet mustard is like, it's fine. Oh no, oh goodness gracious. Oh,
You dropped it all in.
right into the vinegar one, the one I wanted the least.
That's why that child was reacting in the background. He saw it happen.
Actually, the one I think I like the best too, to be honest with you.
Is the vinegar one?
Yeah.
After you said you don't like vinegar?
No, I don't. But it's like mixing together with everything. It's of these sauces too. It definitely has a kick like on the end of your tongue here. Like it's vinegar, but it's like spicy vinegar. So yeah, actually, I like this one. It's getting like really strong vinegar aftertaste. But of those sauces, I think those are the best. If you want to give those a try in the chicken to weigh in. Oh no, wait, I didn't try the beans. Oh no. No. Looking for a burnt end in here. Somebody ate them all. I see what you're saying about there being like a mustardy flavor to this. I'm very weird about beans though, because I come from Boston. It's a very specific recipe that's used up there versus everywhere else. But I don't know. This is pretty good. I don't know that there's so many sides up there that I want to try. Like I really want to try the coleslaw. I might try a different side next time. But anyway, let me take that camera so you can try some more of the stuff.
Ryno, I'm glad you're not pointing down right now because I am also struggling just as you did with this chicken. Oh man, boy am I struggling. I cannot.
Everybody can make fun of us on the internet, but there is no attractive way to cut up a half a chicken.
You know, I don't usually have a problem at home, but then again, I don't usually eat a half chicken at home.
I'll use 2 forks when you shred it.
And it's the pressure right now.
I know. Oh, that guy's holding a knife upside down.
Oh, yes. This
Like
is...
you guys are so good with knives.
Ryno, I mean, you said it best. I know you didn't want to say it.
I know.
This thing is just...
It was the M word.
It's moist. It's juicy.
All the things I hate to say.
I feel like the seasonings actually did a good job of getting rubbed in. I know the manager told me that, you know, they did put this in a brine first as well, too. That's why this chicken is just so juicy. And you're getting all those flavors in there.
One of the best pieces of cooked chicken I've had, definitely at a quick service.
Yeah. I've got to actually stop eating it, or I'm just going to keep going downtown on that thing.
Excuse me?
And not in a bad way. Yeah, that's good mac and cheese.
Yeah.
So, you're right, the breadcrumbs on there add that little extra crisp to it. You know, definitely, it might just be a blend of a sharp and a mild cheddar. You know, white cheddar's in there, but, you know, it's nothing too extreme. So this is it's a Steve Porter classic mac and cheese. He would be happy with that if he was still here, but he's not, alas. So we'll never get his opinion on the mac and cheese, but I'm gonna go back to the pork butt because I do want to try some of the sauces here too. So I'm gonna go opposite of you though. I'm going vinegar first.
Careful, because that was the best one. Don't eat all that pork butt either.
I will not eat all the pork butt. That vinegar sauce. That is good. It's very vinegary, but
Yeah.
I like it. I love mustard-based sauces, so hopefully I enjoy the mustard more than you did.
I love the one at Polite Pig. This one is just like, meh.
I like it. It's been a while since I've had the polite pig one, so I can't really speak to that. I would like for it to be a little bit tangier, but it's still a decent mustard sauce. I've had a lot worse mustard sauces, so I'll say that in its defense. The classic sauce. Overly sweet and sugary. You know, it's
Molasses.
yeah, molasses, brown sugar. You know, you go into a grocery store and pick up the first barbecue sauce you see. That's gonna have pretty much the same exact flavor profile. The brisket sauce.
Oh, with the brisket. That probably would have been smart.
I think the brisket sauce, I can't remember the exact name, so I apologize. I think that has the tanginess that I wanted from the mustard sauce. So I think I'm actually brisket,
No, that's not brisket.
or sorry, vinegar based, then the brisket one, mustard, and classic last. But the one thing we forgot in all of this,
Got the bread.
the bread.
Also, a squirrel just pounded past behind you.
Oh, it smells very garlicky, as you would expect from garlic toast. And it's good and garlicky. So ours has been sitting for such a long time that it lost, like, the texture on the inside of the bread and the outside is now the same. It's lost that crisp. I'm not sure if it had a lot of crisp to begin with, though, because when I picked it up, it felt the same.
You gotta use it to soak up those baked beans.
Yeah, but it tastes good. So I'll give it that. So, Ryno, why don't you eat your bread?
What do Oprah and I have in common? We both love bread.
Except Oprah's proud. She screams it. You are clearly embarrassed and you don't want to say it.
I love bread. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's definitely, it's not super crispy, but I still think it's a pretty decent piece of, like, Texas toast. It's like mini Texas toast, I feel like. It's on the smaller side of that,
Giddy up.
if they even call it that. I'm gonna dip mine a little bit in these baked beans. We'll see what happens here. This adventure. I definitely like it for dipping in the sauces. But why don't we eat the rest of this and then we'll say, I think, what our favorites were and what our least favorites were.
Okay.
Yeah.
All wrapped up. Ryno, what did you decide on? What's your final verdict?
Okay, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Barbecue is not always my favorite thing. I feel very heavy when I eat it. I'm actually feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah.
I think the pork butt ended up being the best. I think we agreed on that.
Yes.
And my second favorite, which I think we also agree on, is actually, I think we agree on all of them. But
We do.
The chicken was very, very good. And then, what did we say was number 3? The ribs?
The rib.
And
Yep.
then the brisket was kind of on the lower side of it. But
Exactly. I would have probably put the chicken first if it wasn't just so difficult to eat.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard because when it's a barbecued half chicken, you're like, I don't want to touch everything. I know I'm weird, sticky hands. I know barbecue. It's one of the things just to dive in, but you know, I'm at Disney. I don't want to get stuff in my shit.
And the sides, they definitely. They definitely.
Oh, mac and cheese was the winner.
Yeah, mac and cheese was the winner, but I you know what?
I'd like to try the coleslaw someday.
I'd like to try the pickles here that they did. The house-made pickles as well too. So I've got to try some of the other sides here, but you know, we barely finished what we actually had, so I can't even imagine getting too much more. So yeah, that was what we ate, and we didn't drink anything.
No, we didn't drink anything. There's a couple of beers in here. Nothing like exclusive to beer, I don't think.
Yeah.
A couple of specialty cocktails. I told Craig there's a frozen mint julep over here.
Yeah,
so
and that's at the outdoor bar, so it's part of the outdoor seating area, and that's actually a good thing to bring up, the entire area. How do you like the new redone area?
I think this is way better. I think it's much nicer. It's a little more welcoming. It like draws you in, I feel like, especially because of this outdoor, like the bar area that they have going on here. A nice place to like pop in and grab a drink.
Yeah, absolutely. So everything, like the brick around here, it just adds to the
I like
entire aesthetic.
The smoker that's out behind us right here, which I guess is functional.
Yep.
Because it's got directions over here. So I'll be interested to see if they ever turn this thing on and cook out here or what.
They will. But what do you think of the inside? All the Muppet touches in there?
I love it. I think it's great. I think this is like, I mean, I'm with you on that. Like, I know you're diehard, like, love the Muppets. I do feel like the Muppets are an underrated, underappreciated property in general this day and age. And I think it's amazing that there's this cool place that has all these, like, little hints here and there. And I think it's better done than how they did Pizza Rizzo.
Yep.
I think it's a little more...
Oh, yeah.
It reminds me of that a little bit with, like, the photos and stuff. But I think this has a little bit more, like... It's like they went an extra step because it's the colonial era.
Yeah, not only is the theming on the inside better than Pizza Rizzo, the food is actually, just night and day different. So it's like they actually gave the Muppets something to be proud of in terms of a restaurant. And I think that's a really good thing. And I love just, it still has all those colonial touches that are perfect. But then, slight little bits of Muppets thrown in there. They have the salute to all cook-offs, but mostly barbecue, and I probably misquoted that. My eyes are watering right now. It's so sunny.
Out of nowhere, too.
Yeah,
so it's like,
literally, and I'm dripping in sweat, but...
Dripping in barbecue sauce.
Exactly, and the meat sweats, of course, too, are there, but... Yeah, they, I love the little touches in there. They represent a good slew of Muppets, like Rolf's in there, Janice is in there.
Yeah, Janice, I like
So
Janice.
it's not even just like straightforward, like we're going to do Sam Eagle, Kermit, and leave it at that. So I love the theming. I love the outside area. This is going to be a great place to sit and like listen when they have concerts going on right across the way.
Yeah.
I have no complaints.
No, I really don't either. I said this is somewhere I would definitely return. Like, and I know it's weird to say, but when I come to quick service in Epcot, I always go to the Tangerine Cafe because I feel like I really enjoy it. And now I'm like, oh, this is another one I'd roll into my list, or I'd be like, oh, I'd pop in here and see what's happening.
Yep.
If somebody wanted to go, I wouldn't say no.
Exactly. So that's what we think of Regal Eagle Smokehouse here at Epcot. And, I know it's probably too soon to find out what y'all think, but once you come here, come back to these comments here and let us know what you think about the newest restaurant here at Epcot. So that's going to do it for this episode of the Disney Dining Show. Just a reminder that this show is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. So you can, of course, get help with planning your next vacation to Walt Disney World or any other Disney destination at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. So go ahead and do that. And we will see you again soon with another episode of the Disney Dining Show. But till then,
stay hungry.
Yeah.
Update.
Yes, we're not finished. Just when you thought we were. Guess who's back?
Back again.
Craig and Ryno are back.
Like a good piece of meat. We've just been inside of the smoker.
Well, I mean, I feel like we should explain that a little bit. So we got to talking with our friend Dave, who works here at Disney, and he was able to actually enlighten us on a little bit more with Regal Eagle Smokehouse. Kind of took us through everything we could possibly want and need to know about it, starting with the entire outside right now. It's actually by the time this is released, this just happened today, so in a couple days there's going to be a new archway that wasn't quite ready that will help lead you up to the restaurant. So that's going to be coming very soon. And then we got the final word on that smoker that is out front that we kind of were talking about. It is a real smoker, and I mean we both knew that, so that wasn't a surprise per se, but we found out more about it, and the size of that smoker will clearly not be big enough to help them in the restaurant preparation. So we were told that it most likely, they might throw some turkey legs on there to do smoked turkey legs.
The fife and drum, like whatever their food is over here, in front here.
Yeah, and they have turkey legs, and they might use it for a little bit of the meat from inside, but it's it's not going to ever be able to do the volume that they need to have for how many people are going to come through here. And I mean, we're talking about giant smokers, and they're doing all the work. They are getting the meats in, they're doing their own rubs, they're doing every single part of the process. They're not like buying meat pre-made and just throwing it on a grill or in a crock pot or something. They're doing everything. handcrafted in
Yeah.
this, and
It's kind of amazing the amount of that goes into creating this meal at a quick service location. You know what I mean? And I'm not downplaying quick service food at all, but it's so much more involved to make a good barbecue place, and they are really following those steps. Like, really, they're delivering a quality product. Like,
exactly. And we talked a little bit about that while we were talking about the meats, like the brisket being smoked for 14 hours, as well as the pork butt also going through the same treatment. I mean, this is a craft they have been working on. They said they've been working on it for years.
Right? Yeah, it was just insane to me, because I only think about it from the time it closed to when it opened.
Absolutely insane what they've gone through with this, and they have a great chef who is leading the charge in what they're doing. And it's one of the things we were told, and it's that like the chef is used to cooking, smoking more traditional style and the dry style. So like the big pit that you see out front, that's what he was used to.
The wood chip.
Yeah, with wood chips and such. But to do the amount of meat that they need to have here, they have to use a water-based system that is just extremely fascinating. I mean, nothing like super important really to tell you, besides just like it gives me an even deeper appreciation for this place. It actually,
and this is kind of what was really cool about learning about this, is really that if they can take the care that they put into like getting this from concept to completion, and the care they're going to take in every day from getting the menu, from like whenever they come in, he's saying like 4 a.m. to get this going. Like, if that is the type of care we can expect them going forward at newer locations, I think this is the beginning of that food revolution. That would be nice to bring that, really raise up the quality of quick service food at Disney World. That's always kind of been a thing where it's we always rave about it at Disneyland, but not to say that there aren't great places here at Walt Disney World, but it's really bringing it to the next level.
Exactly. I couldn't say it better myself, so I think with that we should actually say goodbye on this one, this time for good.
For real.
Yeah, so that's going to do it for this episode of the Disney Dining Show.
For real.
We'll be back with you again with another episode very soon. But until then, what was your catchphrase? It was good.
Stay hungry.
Yeah.